she's looking at. Good morning, everyone. How you doing? It's Dave Wiggins here, and we're basically... No, that's crap, right?
You want me to do the introduction?
You would do not. I wouldn't let you introduce my granny. Okay, good morning, everyone. How you all doing? It's Dave Wiggins, and obviously we've got a big match on this afternoon, Portadown v Glenavon at Shamrock Park. So we thought we'd come on and get a couple of Glenavon fans on and try and slag the life out of them. But before we do that, I think we better introduce everyone here. So, Dean, over to you.
Yeah, what about you, okay?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good on, boy, yeah.
Tell us something about yourself there quickly.
Well, I'm Dean, and from Portadown, but unfortunately, been living in Lurgan for the last 17, 18 years. Absolutely hate it. But yeah, so the Middlesbrough Derby days are always fun when you live over here. But looking forward to these two, but just a pity couldn't be on the ground to watch them back. And yeah, there you go. So it is.
Lived in Lurgan for 2 years myself, but quickly back to Portadown as soon as I could, Dean. So
yeah,
you basically lived in Warringstown, though.
Excuse me, we haven't introduced you yet, so but you better introduce yourself now, Billy.
Hi, my name is Billy Fyffe, number 11, left wing, Glenavon FC.
Okay, very good. Many years ago was that? Youth under sevens?
Under sevens, 5th team.
Very good. And you have a bit of a connection to Portadown, Billy?
Yes,
apart from, I'm going to say this, Portadown are your second team. I don't care if you argue with me or not. You have a wee bit of fondness for Portadown.
No, I cannot confirm or deny that. But no, I work for YMCA Portadown on Jervis Street. So I genuinely think I've been to more Portadown matches, like in person, in the last 2 years than I have been Glenavon matches. But that is only due to work, only because I'm paid to go.
Okay,
so,
fair enough.
Shout out to Jordan Ritchie for hooking us up.
Good to have you on, Billy. Mark, what about you?
Yep, I am Mark, and I now live in Craigavon, right in between the two towns. But I lived in Glenavon Crescent for like 5 years, which was the best thing ever. That you could walk home from Morphy Park and you could watch final score. Like you got home in time to watch the highlights, try and catch yourself on TV. Unfortunately, I work for Aspire. We work in schools all over Lurgan, Portadown, and Craigavon. Unfortunately, our office is in Portadown. And if this wasn't being recorded, I might admit that maybe Portadown has some nicer eateries in the town than Lurgan. But yeah,
we do need a Bob and Bert's before.
So
really
I think generally what I've understood from this introduction is Dean hates living in Lurgan. Billy spends most of his time in Lurgan, and Mark thinks Portadown's got a better town centre than Lurgan. So listen, we're off to a good start, but obviously we've got a big match this afternoon. We're playing you again on Tuesday night. The match today is on 24/7 streaming, and it's only a £5. It's usually £7. And Mark, you were telling me Glenavon stream is always a £5. Is that right?
Yeah, which is absolute bargain considering the fact that we win games and we're 15 points over you guys.
I know, and I suppose the other side of that is it's a £5 because nobody would ever pay anything more to watch Glenavon, but.
To be fair, it could be worse.
I'm sure it was nice for Portadown fans because you only had to pay a £5 then for the first game, and that was one of the only 2 wins you've had this season. Is that right?
Oh, it's interesting you brought us to the first game of the season already, Mark. But listen, we'll get back to that in a second. What I want to do first of all is I want to work out what we're going to call what's happening here, because obviously Portadown v Glenavon twice at Shamrock Park within 3 days. You know, we've got titles like El Buckfastigo, the Mid Ulster Derby, Craigavon Classic. I just threw that one in myself. But it's a double header, so could it be the Mid Ulster double header? Or I know some of you boys like your American sports, so what about the Mid Ulster World Series?
That is the worst suggestion I've ever heard.
I liked it.
I agree with Billy there. You can't
The
go
World
on
Series?
No.
Not having
But I
it.
thought you liked American sport.
I'd maybe partake if I've nothing else to watch. Maybe a little bit of the Super Bowl, but come on, World Series, that's stretching it a wee bit far.
Yeah.
Like, it is the greatest game like ever. You know, Glenavon Portadown is the best match that genuinely it is the first fixture lists. We all probably have second teams that we support. But like whenever the Glenavon fixtures are out, the first game I'm looking for is Boxing Day. Which Mark hasn't been in. We haven't played Portadown in a few years though.
No.
Before you get on to that, though, you don't have to look for Boxing Day. It's always on the 26th of December, mate.
Fair. I see Portadown beside that, but now we've had like Mickey Mouse teams like Warren Point and Dungannon and stuff. But
yeah, they are Mickey Mouse teams. Dean, do you remember the last time Glenavon won a Boxing Day game at Shamrock Park? You're 40 now, aren't you?
I'm 40, unfortunately.
I don't think you'd remember one.
No.
Definitely not. But listen, anyway, are we just going to settle on the bog standard, the Mid-Ulster Derby?
I think so. I'll definitely stay well clear of the World Series. Like, anything American, just stay away from that. Like, doesn't suit.
Not good. I used to think they called it the World Series because Americans thought, America was the whole world. But Portadown manager Matthew Tipton, he's not just a football intellect, but he was able to tell me it's only called the World Series because the newspaper that covered it was called the World Series. So it's nothing to do with the actual world. And I like that wee snippet of information. Brand new. Mark, you loved that. Your eyes lit up there when you heard that.
Yeah, that was really good information.
Yeah.
I might pass that on as my own.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think
it is the biggest derby in the world, like, isn't it?
It's the biggest derby in the world. If
the world is
Hanover
or something like that, but that's.
Did Real Madrid and Barcelona played each other twice within 10 days, maybe 10 years ago? I think after that, this is the next sort of event.
I think so.
Massive.
Must be. Like,
I'm 41 now, obviously, and you can tell by the way my nipples are poking through my t-shirt here. And
that's a 40-year-old man's body there.
It is, but I don't ever remember us playing twice in the one stadium so close together. There might have been like a cup match and a league match, home and away or something like that, but I just don't ever remember. It's very odd, and I've slagged the life out of Niffle for letting it happen. But now that it's about to happen, I'm actually a wee bit excited for us because 6 points is 6 points. Like,
now you're probably one of the few people who will actually go to it, though.
Well, it's a big disappointment for people not to be able to be there, I think, and
it's not the same without fans, really, is it? Though
it's not the same.
Even after we got beat during the first game of the season, like I was annoyed and I was gutted because Glenavon didn't show up. But at the same time, it just didn't feel the same. It just didn't feel the same way. The build up and everything. Like I was excited to see, Portadown back and all because you do miss that no matter what fans say. Like but it's just you miss the fans. I know there was a few fans there maybe, but not a packed house that it always is.
Yeah, I think at that first game of the season, Glenavon had 500 home fans there or whatever it was. But so first game of the season, then Portadown, been in the championship for a couple of seasons, back to Mourneview Park, 3 points, demolished Glenavon 4-2. What did you think about that? How did that happen, Dean? What do you think?
You know what? It was tough because I'm literally like 10 minutes around the corner from it, and knowing that was going on and not being able to be there, and just didn't. Well, to be honest, I didn't expect it. Like, didn't expect it to be the way it was, but to not be in Moorview Park, in among a lot of Portadown fans, and be there to experience that, and just imagine how it felt. I was buzzing anyway. It was some feeling like.
Was that not you up the scaffolding there behind the wall? I thought that was you. I know you always bring a wee bit of scaffolding to the match.
I just want to say that. I'd be scaffolding all the time, anyway. Yeah, but it was brilliant. But you couldn't help but think, just imagine being in there, and the stand at the far side being packed for fans. Just what it would have felt absolutely brilliant, like. But that felt amazing, like. Didn't take away from how good it felt, and being in Lurgan and absolutely trouncing them. Felt brilliant.
You're only as good as your last Mid-Ulster Derby win, as far as I'm concerned. Boys, how did you feel after that? Did you feel like Portadown took Glenavon by surprise in that first game? Do you think Gary thought this will be easy? It's only Portadown, like.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I watched the whole game, and I think Glenavon's had a few games like this, like the first game of the season, all year. Like I genuinely thought that we were. It's hard to say this because you lose 4-2, but we were the better team and dominated most of the game. But just could not score. Like not even create even a half a chance. But there was constantly like playing in around the 18-yard box, getting the odd shot away, half chances. But like, and then that big Stevie Murray, who I've always thought Glenavon, like we should never got rid of him because.
Well, I'd just like to take this opportunity just one more time to officially thank Gary Hamilton. I know he sent us Stephen Murray during the season to help us win the championship. So thank you very much for that again.
But yeah, he made the difference at the start, and once we went 2-0 down, I just think heads dropped and there was no coming back into it. I genuinely thought, I think the Glenavon come back to 2-1. I
think it was 3-2 at one stage, and I must admit I was getting a wee bit squeaky bum. And then when Aaron Burns broke through and smashed it in the top corner, I'll not say where I was watching the match, but the people who were in my bubble that day, we had quite a good time and enjoyed it very much. So, Mark, what did you think after that first game of the season? Did you think...
like what Billy was saying, it wasn't as disappointing as being there, because you just didn't have the same anticipation. But we also had a whole lot of new players, so and it was the first game of the season, so I was disappointed to lose Portadown because you always are. You didn't want to go into weather or anything else, but I also did think this is not really the sign of the whole season to come. And I had met Peter Campbell, who played for us. He had given. I was a stag a couple of weeks before.
Peter Campbell. He loves kissing the Lockall badge, but anyway.
He gave a few guys a lift at a stag I was at, and he picked us up. And I was introduced to him as this is Peter Campbell. He's going to be class for Glenavon, and I was like, sure he will. And it was good to see him actually performing really well and starting to go. He's my best mate.
He's a good, yeah. It's always good to have friends on the pitch.
Like every Portadown fan seems to know Lee Bonus. Like everyone's best friends with him. But like I doubt that fan knows half a Portadown. Maybe he does, but
absolutely, he has to keep his head down. He can't go anywhere in town without getting hugged and kissed these days. So, absolutely. So yeah. So first game of the season, and you're right. You know we're slagging, but Portadown haven't won too many games since, and Glenavon are kind of doing okay. But you're happy to see Gary Hamilton getting a new 3-year deal.
I've never been in the Gary out crew ever. Which happens every now and again, but football fans are fickle, aren't they? So yep. I actually was pretty set in my head that he was going to leave and go to Glentoran. I had thought there was a whole conspiracy with half our team ending up there. I was like, it's just all adding up to then Gary going there. So I was actually surprised. But delighted.
I sort of thought after him promising to win you the league title that maybe he would just head somewhere else after it hasn't happened. But he's obviously got another 3 years to have a crack at it.
A couple of weeks ago, he was doing that interview where he said about maybe I just shouldn't be here. I thought to blame the fans, we can get out, because I was convinced there was a conspiracy going on. But thank goodness that's not true, and he's signed for another 3 years. There
you go. So you're happy enough, Billy. He's been there a very long time. I think after those 3 years,
10 years. I think it's 10 years in December.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's going to be 10 years. So I think some people were talking about last night that if Gary sees out his entire new deal, I think he may be the longest serving Glenavon manager after Jimmy McLaughlin. He may have been the last Glenavon manager to win the league.
That was a long time ago, I tell you.
Sure.
Absolutely. So listen, if you're watching this, I just want to encourage you to take a minute and you can sign up for the live stream for this afternoon's match. Even though, most of us can't be there, it's good to be able to watch it on the stream and just encourage the guys there by purchasing that for a fiver. And then I think Tuesday night's match is on the BBC. Is that right?
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's on the street. I don't know if it's on BBC Two, but it's on the iPlayer and online as well. Anyway. But listen, there's been so many good Portadown Glenavon matches down the years. I sort of feel for Mark and Billy, you guys were born in the era where Glenavon were absolutely crap, really. You know, I'm watching Glenavon in the 2000s must have just been brutal. But also boys who watched Glenavon in the 90s as well. You know, they didn't get the tag always the bridesmaid, never the bride for nothing. It was kind of like great team, McCoy, McBride, Glenn Ferguson, and just never quite did it. You know, and I know. Listen, I suppose Glenavon can always say they've won the Mid-Ulster Cup 4 more times than us, but it's difficult, like at times, I'm sure, being a Glenavon supporter.
Definitely won more major trophies than you.
Right? Is that it?
Well, no, we'll just leave it at that.
It's a poor comeback, Billy. I set you up there for a good slagging, but it just didn't happen.
Anyway, you had to also go straight back to like 30 years ago there to make things miserable instead of talking about the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I know.
You're absolutely right.
And like it's nearly 20 years like since Portadown have won the league. So it's getting to a point where like, yeah, I understand, you know, me and Mark and a lot of Glenavon fans haven't seen Glenavon win the league. But like a year, 40 years.
Those are your words, not mine. Those are your words, not mine.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fair enough. I can accept that. And the day will come.
That's music in my ears by hearing a Glenavon fan saying that.
The day will come when we will, well, let's be honest, unless we have some kind of Middle Eastern millionaire come flies in and buys us that own something like, who knows, like I doubt we'll ever topple over the likes of Glentoran and Linfield and Larne, but
those boys are only temporary at the top of the table as far as I'm concerned. You know.
But it is getting it has been a long while from Portadown have won the league for you to still hold out over us.
2002, Mark.
Won the league more recently than us, but like neither of us have won the league soon to be in a long time.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
That's the main thing. Like,
what's that thing?
We still seen our team win the league numerous times, like, and been there to celebrate it. Like, so it's doesn't matter how long ago it was. We've experienced that
4 times, I think. 4 times. No, you're absolutely right. I think. Yeah, you can't go back to history. All you can do is go back to the last time we've played each other, really. So, going from that was a nice victory.
Well, haven't you?
How do we prove once and for all who's the best team in Mid-Ulster? How could we actually do that? Is there some sort of formula? Because when you count up, you know, Glenavon have won the league 3 times, but Portadown have won the league 4 times. You know, Portadown have won the Irish Cup 3 times, but Glenavon have won it 4 times. How do we go? How do we decide who's a better team?
Billy's eyes were moving. I thought he had a good answer.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a smart comeback.
I thought you got your calculator out there. Doubtful.
I was tactfully trying to think of any way that where the answer would end up was Glenavon.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have to come down to the league titles. I think that's the main one, like, surely.
Marcel Gillespie's bound to have a stat about like how many times we played each other in the history where who's won the most, drew the most, or who drew the most, but like that would have been the same.
Well, total points, I suppose.
Total points. So
you should ask him. You tweet him and ask him, sure.
Well,
I'm sure he'll love that. That'll be about 2 weeks' work for him, I would say. Absolutely. So, right. Predictions then. What's going to happen today and what's going to happen on Tuesday night? What would you be happy with? And what do you think might happen, Mark?
I'm happy with 2 wins, obviously. I do like.
They're both at Shamrock Park, I suppose, so there's home advantage there.
Yeah, but it's not like you've been playing well at Shamrock Park.
We've been playing a lot better away.
Yeah.
So have we.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Mark? No, I'm saying that's not good.
Yeah, I don't know how much you've been playing better away. With I don't know. I reckon we'll win both of them. But it'll be tight. We'll definitely concede. I'm talking like standard, like just going to like 2-1s here, like for maybe both of them.
Billy?
Yeah, I'm stuck in this place where I'm not sure if I want to scud us. So as I said before, I work in Portadown, and
yeah, but you're gonna have to have the balls to give us a prediction, like stand over it.
Yeah, so Glenavon are really struggling to score at the minute, I find. I know we did have a good game there against Larne, and we seem to concede a lot too, though. But I'm going to go for 2 draws, sit in the fence, get a couple of splinters, 2 each this tomorrow night or today, Yeah. And then Tuesday night, 1-0 Glenavon. Peter Campbell, Mark's best
You
friend.
said 2 draws. You can't go 2.
I changed my mind.
I'm looking forward to watching 2 draws.
My advice to Peter Campbell is if he scores early, not to run the length of the stand kissing his badge. Like, you know, if he scores a last-minute winner, that's the time for that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I think I was at that match. All the Portadown fans were going buck off.
Dean, what do you think? How are we going to fare here over the long weekend?
I'm going to go with Billy and say 2 draws, 1-0 both games. No, I actually do fancy us to win both of them. I really do. And we're due a win. You know, don't think we haven't won since 8th of December, was it? In Ghana, maybe the last game we won.
First game of the
I think December the 8th was the last time you won.
We haven't won a match at Shamrock Park in over a full calendar year.
Yeah, but our last win was 8th of December against Glenavon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so we picked up points there, you know, against sort of the Crews, Larne, Korean. But I mean, it's just a win. We're due a win, like, and there's no time better than now, like in the Ulster Derby. Glenavon's been all right for him, like, you know, they've had a good run of games there, and it'll be tough. It'll be tight. I think there'll be goals definitely in both games, but I do fancy us. to win today and on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But even thinking about it though, like being there the day, but then Tuesday night at Shamrock Park, Portadown Glenavon under the lights, you know, the fans being there would have been absolutely brilliant, there, wouldn't it?
It would. It's been far too long. It's been far too long. I sort of
worse standing in that away end at Shamrock Park. I need a telescope.
Right. Maybe your eyesight's not that great these days, Billy. I don't know.
I don't mind a burger at Shamrock Park.
Oh, a good burger is a good burger.
There you go. Shout out to Billy. I haven't seen Billy this season yet, but I can't predict Tuesday night, but I think this afternoon is going to feel like a cup final. I think it's going to be all action. I think there's going to be good tackles, good goals, and I think it'll be a win today and a draw on Tuesday night. And I'm going to go for a Portadown victory today. It's long overdue, and I think our players will be up for it. And it's maybe just the wee curse of Gary signing his new contract. It's almost like winning when you win Manager of the Month. Maybe you have a wee stutter after that. So I'm going to leave it in the lap of the gods that Portadown are going to win today.
I didn't think that myself last night, you know.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Billy, for confirming that. That's good. Anybody else? All right. Good stuff.
Do you think anyone will get sent off?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm
going for a Robbie Guard sending off against he's going to just topple your wee fella Tipton, put him 10 foot in the air.
No, George can handle himself, I'll tell you that. He's a strong boy.
Well, I mean,
anyway.
In the last, let me see here, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last 5 Glenavon games, someone's got sent off.
Is that right?
Not for Glenavon each time, but in the last 5 games, someone of either teams got sent off.
There you go.
A lot of
and that's your betting tip from
Hang
Mark.
On. Somebody somebody for Glenavon got sent. Who saved the shot? Who was that?
Sean
Ward. Nice save that as well. And Greg Hall saved one for us off the line not that long ago as well.
Yeah, we're missing a few players maybe tomorrow. I don't know if Singleton's.
I'm not sure.
You get the excuses in early, Billy.
Pardon?
Get the excuses in early.
Well, we were missing a few in the first game of the season as well. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good crack. No doubt Wiggy will just be on Twitter straight afterwards, slabbering at people, tagging them.
Or maybe
afterwards, just during the game.
Rhetoric.
I like when we're missing a few because then I go straight to the lineups and hope to see Hamilton.
Yes.
There's nothing that gives me more of a thrill. Like, honestly, just proper thrills me.
What number do you think like he'll be wearing this season?
88, surely still.
80 was 80 worse.
80 was it? Funny actually, Mark, on our podcast that we do that came out yesterday, I had said that my prediction on that was we'd beat Glenavon 1-0. On the 85th minute, there'd be a bit of movement on the bench, and you'd see Gary Hamilton squeezing into his shirt, coming on, thinking he can create a bit of chaos, not touching the ball. Referee blows the final whistle. Match over, 3 points. So I'll still stand over that.
I've left so many Glenavon games that we have like lost or drew, but I'm still buzzing inside and I can't quite figure out why. And it's because Gary's come on. Honestly, I don't know why. It just proper gets me going. Like when he puts the kid on, it is like Clark Kent going into the phone booth and coming out of Superman.
You know what my favourite Gary Hamilton moment is? Him standing in a Portadown shirt up on the wall at Mornview Park going like this when Glenavon just get relegated and he just scored a goal to clinch second place in the league for us. That was a great Gary Hamilton moment. And listen, on that, lads, thank you very much for your time this morning. We look forward to this afternoon's game. I was obviously going to get the last word there. And get the streaming bought now. It's only a £5. Watch it with your family or anybody in your bubble. And Dean, is that the programme of?
Just like to finish that, just to show it. Just everybody know what it's like,
Earmark.
I don't think programmes existed the last time Glenavon won the league.
Well, to get them on 2 £5. You can log in my account.
Oh, shooby-doo.